assembly this morning is very special. It's on two subjects. One subject, reading is fundamental. Be a part of it. We feel that our tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., if he were here, he would be a part of it. So we're going to begin our assembly this morning with RIF, Reading is Fundamental. We will turn the program over to our academic dean, Mrs. Young.
Thank you, Mrs. Clover. Good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning, Mrs. Young.
I want to talk to you about RIF this morning. Everyone, let's say it together. What does RIF stand for?
Reading is fundamental.
Very good. And fundamental is a great big word. Let me see how big. Yes, it is. Okay? And we have learned that fundamental means something you absolutely have to have. We've learned that you absolutely have to have reading. We've also learned we take this great big word fundamental and we go to the beginning part of it, the fun part. That's what RIF is all about. Making reading fun. Now we've done that a lot of different ways at Hancock School. This year our theme, Be a Part of It, has been instrumental to making it fun for us. We've had an election. We were all a part of it. We voted for our favorite RIF book. We also had a chance to be in a poster contest. This morning, I'm going to recognize and congratulate our RIF poster winners. They were a part of it. I'm going to say their names. They're going to stand up and hold up their poster for you to see. When I finish calling all their names, then I'd like us all to clap for them to show them that we're really proud that they're a part of it. Our grand prize winner was Cliff Barnett. Wait, Cliff, stand up. Now, Cliff doesn't have a poster because we sent his poster to Washington. Our first grade winner is Sean McNutt. Hold the clap to the very end. Our second grade winner was Amanda Mataletsky. Third grade was Hal Dugan. Fourth grade was Susan Letty. Fifth grade, Pinky Patel. Now, the rest of you had an opportunity to be a part of it. You got to turn in sketches. How many of you turned in your sketches to Mrs. Earp? Let me see your hands. All right, let's clap for all of them. You'll be getting your prizes at the next RIF distribution. In fact, we're going to start the next RIF distribution this morning. We're going to be a part of it. We're going to unveil our Give a Hand to Hancock mural. I'm going to ask boys and girls that were winners to help us with this official unveiling in just a moment. But I want to tell you what we're going to be doing. Next time when you come to get your free RIF book, you're going to pick your book, then you're going to trace your hand on a gigantic mural, Give a Hand to Hancock. Now what does it mean when we give a hand? Who knows? What happens when you give a hand? Kim, do you know what it means when you give a hand? Okay, you help, a helping hand. You can do it by clapping, and you can do it by doing something good for someone. We're going to be giving a hand to Hancock, and that's going to make us all a part of it. Okay, we're ready to begin our official unveiling of our Give a Hand to Hancock mural. Can you help, please?
Be
student in elementary school, I always remembered the story of Cinderella. And I always read Cinderella over and over and over again. And whenever I read the book of Cinderella, I thought how unfortunate it was for the young lady to have been abused by her stepsisters and also by her stepmother. And as a student, I always remember feeling so very bad about Cinderella. And then I liked the part where there was magic involved and something good finally happened to Cinderella. So in the thumb, I would place something dealing with Cinderella, something magical happening, because that's what happened in my favorite book when I was in grades K, 1, 2, and 3. It happened to have been Cinderella.
Thank you, Mr. Berger. Now, could you share with us what you'd like to put in the fingers? Now, in the fingers, something that you like about Hancock School. I know there's so many things that you would like with something in red. Mr. Berger, what would you put?
I would like to share the fact that, first of all, I think at Hancock Elementary School, we have some of the best students in the Norristown area school district. And what I mean by that is that we help one another. I think about the Friday in which a tragic fire took place. I think about the fact that I saw boys and girls at this school who were actually in tears. And they were crying not because they lived in those particular apartments, but they were crying because other people that they knew lived in those apartments, and they felt as though somebody would have a bad Christmas. It would not be nice to have all your possessions wiped out. And I like students who can feel the needs of other people. Although the things have not happened to them, they feel as though they would like to help someone else.
Thank you, Mr. Berger. While you be sure to sign your name in the palm, I want to share with the boys and girls another part of our group activity that we'll be doing this time. We're going to be having be a part of the classroom activity. We're going to ask each classroom to come up with some idea to show how their class is a part of Hancock School. Maybe you want to have a puppet show or a skit, or maybe write a song. At the end of the time period, which will be all the way to the last distribution in May, we're going to then ask you to be ready to be videotaped. And we're going to take everyone's picture, being a part of it. Then we're going to ask Mr. Coy to help us out again so that we can put it on our cable TV and share with our whole community how Hancock students are really a part of it. Boys and girls, how many think that you're going to be a part of it? Raise your hand. Oh, very good. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. Now, I'm going to turn the program back to the roller while we roll up our official mural. And also, we're going to learn something about someone who really was a part of it. While I'm doing that, let's think of how you can be just as good as this person we're going to learn about. And come here and show yourself in Hancock School. Thank you.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a dreamer. He made a very famous march to Washington, D.C., going to the seat of our government, asking for equal opportunity for all people. Dr. Martin Luther King wanted to help somebody. Just like the boys and girls here at Hancock Elementary School have demonstrated to their building principal over and over again how concerned you are about your fellow citizens. We open up our program by listening to the chorus, which is under the direction of Mrs. James. Johnson, as she will introduce Reverend Lee. Lakia Johnson.
To Mr. Glover and to the faculty, staff, and all of the students here at Hancock, it is good for me to be here once again to share with you in your celebration and acknowledgement of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I want to thank our introducer this morning for the kind words, and want to thank you for your attentiveness, and especially this choir which has done a marvelous job today. It is good to see them and to hear them, and I know that it took some hard work and dedication on their part to be ready for today. Dr. Martin Luther King certainly is a special man in the history of our country. So often when we have these holidays, we make little posters and write essays which we have hanging in our classroom. And some of you, perhaps at your grade, are just getting ready to do that. The next group which comes in will probably be more in tune with that. But I remember when I was coming along that around the time of the special holidays, we always would try to remember why there should be a holiday in honor of that person. Whether it was Christopher Columbus or Abraham Lincoln or Washington, everyone took time out to think about why there should be a holiday. We've heard this morning already some of the facts about the life of Martin Luther King, and we've heard about some of the special things that he did. But this morning, I want you to try to remember with me that the reason Martin Luther King is special in the history of the United States is because King cared. Can you just say that with me? King cared.
King cared.
King cared.
King cared.
All right. Now, we want you to remember that through the rest of this day and through this week. We want you to remember that as you go on through life, that Dr. King cared. You've been talking about caring already a little bit today. You talk about your helping hand. We know what it means to care. That means that something becomes special inside of our heart. Something is special to us, and because it's special, we show that it's special not by just thinking about it, but we show that it's special by doing something about it. And today we want to just mention 3 ways that made Dr. King's caring special, and that will make caring special in your life too. The first thing is, caring is special when you don't have to care. A lot of times, we have to do things. Our parents tell us when we have to go to bed. Our teachers tell us when we have to come into the classroom, and when we have to be quiet, and then when we have to get our coat on and we have to go outside. Those are all the things that we have to do because we're given directions to do them. And sometimes we even have to do nice things whether we want to or not. But the more important nice things that we do are not the things that we are told that we have to do, but they are the nice things that we do even though we don't have to. Dr. King was not a wealthy man, but he wasn't really a poor man either. He had a good job, he had a good education, He could have lived any place in the country that he wanted to live in. But he chose to live in the South where he had been born. And he also chose to take up the leadership of a movement of people who wanted to help everyone find equal opportunity, not only in the jobs they had, but in the seats they might take on a bus, and in other things in life around them. He didn't have to do it, but he did it anyway, because he cared. Sometimes you'll find that there are things that you don't have to do, but you'll care anyway. And that makes caring extra special, because you don't have to do it. Well, not only did Dr. King not have to care, but caring is special when it's hard to care. When it's easy for you to do nice things, it's not as special. People may appreciate it, but it's not the easy things, it's the hard things. It's when you have to go out of your way, when you have to do something that maybe you don't want to do, that maybe is not so easy for you to do, to show that you care. Maybe it's easy for you to read. It's not easy for everybody. Some of us have difficulty reading. And you don't have to help anyone else with their reading. If they come across a word that they can't pronounce, a word that they don't understand, you really don't have to do that. And sometimes it may be a little inconvenient, a little difficult for you to go out of your way. Maybe you would rather be doing something else. But to take the time out and to say, I'm going to help someone else, I'm going to care about the fact that they're having a little difficulty and that I can do this, even though it may be a little hard for me, I'm going to do it anyway. That's really special. Dr. King did that. Not only was his own life threatened many times, but the life of his family, his church where he worked, where he preached, his house, as we heard already, was bombed. It would have been so much easier for him to say, I'm not going to care anymore. But instead of doing the easy thing, he did the hard thing. He cared anyway. And he showed that he cared with the things that he said and the things that he did. And that made him very special. But then thirdly and finally this morning, caring is special when you want to care. Not only do you not have to be made to care, care not because you want to. Not only do you care when it's hard to care, but caring is really special when deep down on the inside, you really want to do it. Have you ever had that opportunity to do something that you really wanted to do? Maybe it was something nice for your mother around the house or your father around the house. They didn't expect you to do it. You didn't have to do it. It may not have been easy for you. But you just really wanted to do it because deep down inside, you really cared. Maybe it was cleaning up your room. Or maybe it was doing your homework without them telling you to do it. Or maybe it was some other little chore around the house, like taking out the garbage or something special that you didn't really have to do, that it really wasn't easy for you to do it, but you really, really wanted to do it. Dr. King was that kind of person. He really wanted to do it. He really loved people enough in his life that he didn't care whether or not he could make it. He wanted other people to make it. It wasn't whether or not he could make a living for himself. He wanted everyone to make a living for themselves. It wasn't whether or not he could live in a part of the world where he would be treated with dignity and respect, but it was whether or not people every place, no matter what they looked like, no matter how much money they made, would be treated with dignity and respect. And so ask yourself, today, ask yourself every day of your life, are you showing that you care? Do you have that special caring like Dr. King? Do you care when you don't have to? Do you care even when it's hard to care? And do you care because deep down inside, you really, really want to care? Why was Dr. King special? He was special because Dr. King cared. Thank you. Think about Dr. King. Learn about Dr. King. And try to live your life as I'll try to live my life, caring the way he cared.
Appreciate the remarks that you've given to us, that you have spoken to us today on caring as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. would have done himself. Thank you so very much. Consider this assembly dismissed. Outstanding audience. Consider this assembly dismissed.